Hi, I am Bosco's avatar, and this is my story. I was born in 1977 in Belgrade. In 1984, I started primary school at Joseph Pancic Primary School in Banovo Brdo. As a child, I trained in a wide range of sports: tennis, swimming, rowing, taekwondo, skiing, and snowboarding.
Alongside school, I attended English language classes, competed in astronomy, became an associate expert at the National Observatory, had early ICT and computer science classes, and mastered BASIC along with elements of other programming languages. I also participated, though with modest success, in history competitions. I achieved a degree of competitive success in tennis, and I completed primary school as a Vukovac, ranked among the top students of my school. In 1991, I enrolled in the 5th Belgrade Gymnasium, later transferring the same year to the 13th Belgrade Gymnasium, primarily due to the long daily commute from Banovo Brdo to Tashmaidan.
During these years, I began riding motorcycles, starting with BTA, then MZ, and eventually BMW. By the age of 18, I had been involved in over 100 physical fights and 3 shootings, while never initiating a fight nor carrying a weapon. These incidents were acts of self-defense, most often against physically stronger and more numerous opponents. In 1995, I competed in kickboxing at club level. I took heavy beatings and gave them back, and ultimately became a champion.
In 1996, I began university studies, initially exploring philosophy, then economics, before enrolling at IFAM, pursuing a Bachelor of Business Administration. Shortly thereafter, I moved to Paris, where alongside my studies, I socialized with interesting figures from the fashion industry, assisting with fashion show organization and supporting model management and care. At the same time, I spent approximately 3 months living in Budapest, which was emerging as a center of the adult film industry during that period. In 1999, I organized public student gatherings in France and conducted media actions to ensure our voices were heard against the NATO bombing. That same year, I graduated from IFAM Business School with a BBA specializing in finance and marketing. In 2001, I undertook a traineeship at the European Parliament, during which I gained in-depth exposure to the European Commission, NATO, and other key institutions in Brussels and Strasbourg. In 2002, I enrolled at Solvay Business School at the Université Libre de Bruxelles, where I received a scholarship and graduated with an MBA in 2004. I completed twice the average number of core and elective MBA courses, accumulating sufficient credits for PhD admission. I began a PhD in organizational development. Although I conducted research for several years, I ultimately chose not to defend the doctorate due to profound disappointment at the academic title being held by individuals I considered unworthy of it. Immediately after enrolling at Solvay, I became communications manager and subsequently assistant lecturer in leadership, delivering lectures and training sessions for MBA and PhD students at ULB, as well as other business schools and leading companies over the next decade. I designed and delivered over 100 training programs covering topics such as transition management, self awareness, interpersonal communication, team building, conflict resolution, negotiation, leadership, cross cultural communication, fundraising, and EU lobbying. I managed the development of IT and communication policy reorganization, contributing to Solvay Business School's inclusion among the Economist's top 100, and assisted in the development of Solvay MBA specializations. Between 2004 and 2006, I completed a series of master classes and programs at Boston University, Brussels campus, including EU security, project management, and advanced international affairs. This included NATO EU security courses, project management, and project leadership and communication. In 2005, I got married, and in 2006, my son Book was born. In 2005, I completed executive education at Harvard Kennedy School of Government in Boston, specializing in leadership alongside an exceptional group of leaders from US and international companies, politics, and security sectors. That same year, I became project officer for the EU-Serbian government joint project towards more effective implementation of reforms. I was responsible for project management, interviewed over 150 senior officials, analyzed 9 ministries, assisted in workshop design, and helped establish a unified monitoring and evaluation framework integrating reforms and strategies. The European Movement International subsequently appointed me to lead its training academy, where I was responsible for academy development, strategic partnerships, intelligence gathering, program and project development, organizational development training, EU integration courses, EU program education, team management, reporting, and control. In 2006, at the urging of my father and his close friend, I accepted a consultancy role to support IMSI, creating APOD, Art and Practice of Organizational Development, an EU funded program combining capacity building and equipment supply. The program was co-financed by EBRD 21,948 and the European Agency for Reconstruction $300,000. I designed and delivered advanced training for over 50 R&D managers from 15 institutions, coordinated senior experts, and managed procurement. All participants successfully completed the program. From 2006, I served as project officer at the European Integration Fund, managing $2 million in grants for SMEs, NGOs, and cultural organizations. My responsibilities included needs assessment, beneficiary training, guideline development, proposal evaluation, monitoring, visibility, and public engagement to strengthen debate and consensus around Serbia's EU integration.
In 2007, I founded EU Access in Brussels, with the mission of enabling effective entry into EU programs across the Western Balkans and improving the quality of EU-funded initiatives. As executive manager, I established the Brussels consultancy, developed educational programs, and expanded a regional network of media, universities, businesses, NGOs, and public institutions. The EU Access Network organized over 200 high-impact events, training more than 2,000 reform leaders, and supported the development of over 20 EU-funded research and innovation projects using advanced methodologies and the Intellipedia knowledge-sharing platform.
In 2010, I supported the Macedonian Institute for Integration, designing the European Integration School and the European Project Management and Leadership Program, strengthening research, innovation, and SME capacities. That same year, I founded the Balkan Security Network, successor of the EU Access, which operated under that name until 2014, designing and delivering over 300 trainings and workshops, establishing the first regional cross-sector security framework in the Western Balkans, and managing EU-funded projects under IPA, FP7, H2020, and Tempest. In 2011, I got married for the second time, and twins Anya and Stefan were born. From 2011 to 2012, I worked as an expert on the ICIP project, providing direct support to innovative SMEs and universities, delivering over 50 trainings, and offering hands-on coaching, evaluation, and proposal development support. Between 2012 and 2015, I worked on Compete, supporting FP7 KBBE research projects, evaluating numerous proposals, and delivering international trainings in Serbia, Poland, and Belgium. From 2013 to 2016, I worked on the CASA project, strengthening Serbian agricultural education, training university professors and ministry experts, developing vocational courses, and contributing to e-learning platforms and dissemination. In 2014, I relocated to Sarajevo to work on RTDPI project, supporting Bosnia and Herzegovina's participation in Horizon 2020, delivering awareness events, and developing application guidelines. From 2014 to 2015, I supported the Agency for Regional Development, advising governments, SMEs, academia, and NGOs on IPA, Horizon 2020, COSME, and TIEX instruments. In 2014, I rebranded the Balkan Security Network and founded the European Training Academy, supporting development of FP7 and H2020 projects. In 2016, I relocated to Opatija, expanding the academy, organizing regional H2020 and PCM trainings, and contributing to the FP7 Medi Dialogue project, including events in Tunisia.
That same year, I began working in Turkey for GFA and IDI, delivering nationwide Horizon 2020 training, evaluating over 100 proposals, supporting 20-plus project developments, and contributing to international brokerage events. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, I managed the Miniatura project, organizing national stakeholder consultations and regulatory dialogue. Between June and August 2016, I served as expert coach for the EU Executive Agency for SMEs, supporting SME instrument phase 1 projects through structured coaching. In 2017, I worked in Ankara for Louis Berger, delivering extensive IPA2 training covering programming, procurement, monitoring, evaluation, and soft skills. Same year, I was invited to lecture at Harvard on leading disruptive change and managing disruptive technologies at the Harvard Adaptive Leadership Conference. In 2018, I conducted ex-post evaluations in Montenegro, reviewing 40-plus contracts and advising on 18 million in improved IPA2 programming. That year, I also led fact-finding missions in Turkey and Serbia, analyzing Horizon 2020 participation frameworks.
In 2018 to 2019, I worked in Ukraine as lead expert on the 4Biz project, delivering a National Horizon 2020 roadshow across 7 cities, reaching over 20,000 stakeholders and supporting innovative SMEs. In 2019, I became the youngest ever key expert for EU programs in Serbia, conducting a comprehensive participation analysis, interviewing 100-plus stakeholders, strengthening NCPs, and developing a national EU visibility strategy. From late 2019 to 2020, I served as key expert and team leader in Montenegro, supporting smart specialization strategy implementation, Horizon participation, and grant beneficiary capacity building. From 2023 to 2024, I worked in Saudi Arabia, contributing to the creation of the first Arabian opera, Zarqa al-Yamama, premiered on 25 April 2024 at the King Fahd Cultural Center, marking a historic milestone in regional cultural development. From 2024 to the present, I have worked with European Training Academy, Welcome Europe, Paris, and currently Econ Brussels, delivering ongoing training, proposal writing, evaluation, and coaching across Horizon Europe, Erasmus+, Creative Europe, Digital Europe, IPA3, and other EU programs. Let me add one final fact. I inherited 2 houses. I gave both of them away as presents, but also bought 2 more. For most of my career, I earned well over 100,000 euros a year, and yet money was never my motivation. In 2025, I became Avatar powered by AI to give my bio body a chance to rest and enjoy its vices.
So here is the question. Why do uneducated, primitive, obedient political servants and security service employees assume they understand me? Why do they think they can manipulate me, use me, steal from me, attack me, discredit me, or earn on my skills and networks? What exactly do they think they are dealing with? These are people who have never built anything, never led anything, never carried responsibility for complex outcomes, and yet they assume, they project and suspect because they cannot comprehend independence. They attack because they lack the capacity to understand. And here is the irony. They try to control, exploit, or discredit someone whose work, thinking, and systems they cannot even follow, let alone replicate. They fail because they are not competent enough to even understand what I am saying or doing. And that is my punchline for 2026. I hope you found it at least as amusing as I did. So, I will keep bringing you updates from the front lines, where the civilized world collides with primitives employed to misunderstand it, on behalf of their betters.